All right, ladies and gentlemen, April 27th, 2026, right? Is that what it is? Yeah, it is. All right. Today, we are very fortunate from both the offices of the SCC and St. Rose. We have manager in real estate extraordinaire, Amanda Lopez. Welcome to the call.
Hi there. Thank you. I think it's just you and I, although I'm sure thousands will listen later.
Well, yeah, some people still come on live, but most of the time they listen to it on both the YouTube channel, on several podcast apps. That's from since everybody's figured out that, I mean, when I started doing this 12 years ago, it was actually a group call, and sometimes it'd be 70 people on it. But now that it's a podcast and everybody knows they can listen to it whenever, and we send it out everywhere, you know what I mean? So it's kind of lowered the live, especially with realtors. 8 a.m. is like, midnight to them.
Okay.
It's almost noon to
thank
me.
Thank you for having me. I know.
My pleasure. All right. So what are we talking about today? Whenever I have you on, I leave you in charge. So what do you want to talk about today?
Thank you,
Amanda Lopez.
We are giving a few. We is me.
Right. Oh, you're schizophrenic.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to give some BHHS fun facts, a few of those, and then some success in the market, which means skills plus sanity. So we're going to give a formula of how one can have skills plus sanity, and how that's a winning combination. We all want to win, right?
Oh. I thought you were going to say you're going to give out the winning numbers for the lotto. But okay, yes, no. That's great. I love that.
Okay, so let's get into...
You can do that. You're awesome.
Let's get into fun facts, because sometimes I don't realize, or I realize that some folks don't know some of the countless perks that they have as an agent with our company. And I'm speaking to all 3 states. At first, I had a whole list of what's available in Nevada, and I'm like, hold on a minute, the podcast is for all of us. So how can I cater this talk to everyone? So I wanted to share that agents get free color copies, and I don't mean unlimited, but agents get free color copies, and you just have to check with your manager on the quantity and the details. So for one of the markets, it might be for every listing, and for another market, it might be a set amount per month. So you'll want to check with your manager, but there are options to get some free color copies, which is fun. Yeah. So like out here in Nevada, they do 100 free color brochures or flyers for each listing. So, I want folks to take advantage of being with our company.
And I would add to that take advantage of it by passing them around in the neighborhoods you can, or if you can't, and most of them you can, but if you can't, then mail them out. Take advantage of those color copies, because, you want to get that out there. New listings and new sales are dynamite ways to prospect.
Absolutely. You're telling the world something positive. You're leveraging the success you had. So it isn't a cold reach out, Okay, so the next fun fact is that when an agent introduces another agent to our company, they receive Profit Builder. Yeah, and Profit Builder is super robust. It's a way to make extra money, and it comes off of the company dollar. And I don't know if it varies per market, but definitely make those introductions between the agents, maybe on the other end of a deal, and your manager. And it can be a name and a phone number and anything you want to share. Maybe it's someone who could use a little help by being with our company, or maybe it's someone who's really awesome and can become even more awesome when they align with our company. So Profit Builder is a nice incentive to introduce folks to our company.
Yeah, and it's huge too. Especially the first 2 years, it's gigantic. So I think it's a great way for people. And, we have agents that, I know I coach one of them, and she's in your office, Rochelle Vinoy. She does very well every year from Profit Builder.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent.
Sorry, I had to have someone knock at the door. Yes, I have another fun fact. So we are part of Home Services of America, which is the largest residential real estate brokerage in the U.S.
I know, it's crazy.
Some people don't realize that. And it's like
isn't it number 7 on Forbes for the most trusted
recognized
name?
Trusted name.
Right, like up there with Apple and Disney and So
so leverage that. How can you guys leverage these rankings that the company has? Use them to your benefit. To consumers, some of the consumers, it really does matter. Another fun fact is that our brand ranked top 5 nationally among real estate brokerages by Real Trends.
Right. All good stuff.
Another fun fact.
Yes, let's hear it.
Okay, you can be a part of a mastermind group, or you can start your own. We've got, in Nevada, we have 3 different offices, so we have a couple different mastermind groups that incorporate agents from each office, which is nice variety. And then there's a company monthly virtual mastermind. I don't know if you've been on it yet. It's great. It just started this year, and Jenny Abney kind of spearheaded it, and it's just for our 3 markets. So it is the first Monday. I'm just looking at the topic. It's the first Monday of every month, and next time, it's Monday of next week, and the topic is marketing. No, actually, we're going to be in May. The topic is listing attraction and pre-listing prep. So it's about positioning yourself as the go-to listing agent, perfecting your listing presentation, pricing strategy, and prep system. There's a speaker typically, and what's great is it's small enough to where if you have a question or you want to contribute something, you can. This is just for our 3 states, so it's Troy's offices, and it's great. Agents are loving it. So I do recommend that you get on the virtual mastermind Monday, the first Monday of the month at 9 a.m. PST. Super cool.
Nice. I love it. All good factoids.
I have more factoids.
Let's hear it.
I'll make it quick because this is just for Nevada. We have an academy, and I'm not talking about pre-licensing. It's an academy for folks that are already licensed and they need to get some traction. Janice Higdon, one of our great managers, is running this. She's our head trainer. And it's essentially, my take on it is that it's helping create better agents and helping our industry, at least in this market. So before an agent can graduate to coming to one of our branches here in Nevada, they have to have completed 3 transactions with the academy. And I just think that's exciting. And if there's a need in other markets, maybe this will happen in the other markets. I don't know. I just know it's great in Nevada. It's the academy. And again, it's not pre-licensing. It's afterwards. And she is hands-on training these folks. And I'm just really excited about what's to come.
I agree. And the thing is that, go ahead. I was going to say, I just want to add a little bit that the Janice, what she's doing, this business has so much fallout that, what we talk about here at Berkshire Hathaway is helping people start a legitimate business where you can duplicate your efforts, build momentum, right? Stay in the business. You need business systems. You need tools. You need a great CRM, and all of that is included here in your split. And we show you how to use it. And so you stick. So you have stick-to-itiveness to the business as opposed to coming in, falling out because, hey, I can get 100%, but 100% is zero. And if you're not taught how to do nobody comes into real estate knowing how to do everything. You need to, you get to, the great thing about real estate is you get to earn while you learn, but you still got to learn.
Absolutely. And transactional experience matters. That's where you really learn. And so that's what is happening at this academy, and it's just exciting. I have a couple more fun facts, and then we'll get into our success in the market. I don't know if everyone knows this. You can have a custom logo created with our marketing department.
Yes.
And I think some agents, maybe they hire out, they don't realize, they outsource. They don't realize that our company can help you create a custom logo. Of course, you have to use the branding of the brokerage and whatnot. But I've seen some really cool logos that are specific to the agents. So I encourage everyone to do what they can do to capitalize on having our marketing department.
Yeah,
and then I have.
Let's give Dominique a little shout out too. Meet with Dominique if you're in Nevada. I mean, every state has their own person, but definitely meet with your marketing person locally to get some help. We have incredible tools, guys. We have all kinds of goodies. You want to run a business, if that's what you are, okay, then you definitely want to take advantage of everything.
Yeah, thank you. So I have a couple stats, and they are for Nevada and Arizona, because they were the positive stats I found. So our average price with the Nevada properties is almost $200,000 higher than Las Vegas Realtors. That's our MLS, than LVR. So our average price as a company in Nevada is $728,000 and some change, $728,000 and some change, and LVR's is $549,000, just rounded up to $550,000. So again, our average price, we sell more expensive homes. Our average price is almost $200,000 higher. You could say it's over $150,000 higher than the average across the MLS. That's exciting. Use it.
That is exciting. Yep.
And then I have Arizona. Their average price is $112,000 higher than the AR MLS. I think it's called AR MLS. Yeah. So that's super awesome too. Use those stats in your listing presentations of why a consumer should list with a Berkshire Hathaway agent.
I love it. And as an agent, you'd like to know that because you just gave yourself a raise.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, absolutely. We can help agents who are considering coming to our company. Typically, we can help their average price improve. So just really cool positive stats. So now, I'm sorry, I didn't have a positive stat for California, though I'm sure they exist. I was just looking at average sales prices. So maybe one of your coaching clients from California can fill us in on what they share to help them get listings over other companies.
Well, I can share one quick one. I was just on a call with a guy in Orange County, and basically the average sale price in Orange County is like 1.2, and I think ours is a little higher than that. I don't know how much higher, but it's a little higher than that. But they have an average sale price of $1.2 million right now. It's amazing.
Wow, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So those were my exciting and riveting fun facts. There's many others. I just wanted to share a few. And now I wanted to talk about how skills plus sanity will bring you success in the market. Are you ready?
Yes, I am. Let's hear it.
Okay. All right. So just a few things. What you want to do, number one, is normalize the stress. Just normalize the stress and incorporate some humor. We will get back into that. It's just so important to know that if you feel unhinged at any point in time in this business, congratulations, you're paying attention, you're doing the deals. It's just so important to also work on balancing that, the stress that can come with it, and we're going to get more into that. So normalizing the stress is number one. Number two, introduce wellness as a performance tool. So instead of framing it as self-care, which I usually frame it as, I need to do more self-care, frame it as a business strategy. So if you really think about like your breath work, for example, that can help you stay calm in negotiations, right? And be less reactive and just be more present and maybe pause before responding. So breath work, movement, that can help you regulate stress before appointments. So if you're really nervous about a buyer or seller appointment, or you just have stress, maybe you don't get nervous, lucky you, getting some movement going beforehand, whether it's a walk around the block, whether it's up and down some stairs beforehand, that will help you regulate the stress, especially if you're going into an appointment where there's a divorce, maybe it's a tense situation. It's important for you to regulate your stress, and these are some ways, doing some movement ahead of time. Also another one which is huge is boundaries boundaries will actually help you have better client relationships. And that is a big one, because I've even heard on your podcast a couple weeks ago, folks that, they want to be available 24 hours a day, and they want to work 7 days a week, and if they don't, then they're going to miss out on the business. It's still important to have boundaries, whatever that looks like for you. For some people, it's a shut-off time on their phones, or for some people, it's taking a full day off during the week, or protecting their Sunday. Whatever it may be, it's okay to have boundaries, and you probably will have better client relationships if you acknowledge those and share those boundaries. You don't have to call them boundaries, but it could just be like my business hours, that could be a boundary.
Right.
I like that whole go ahead.
I used to call it the set the expectation conversation with both buyers and sellers. When I started working with them, I would tell them what, just like I'm sitting here with you today, right? I'm not going to answer my phone while I'm sitting here, because you're the most important priority to me right now. So when you call me, if I'm with somebody else, well, I give them the same respect. Make sense? Good. Okay. So, leave a message.
Yeah.
If I don't pick up right away, I will. So I set the expectations. Here's my assistant. So that way they're not surprised. And I learned that the hard way too. So I made mistakes about that. And I was like, what am I going to, let me just, so, you learn. And when you talked earlier about, some people aren't get nervous on an appointment. I think everybody eventually becomes not nervous and becomes, because they just, now they're experienced and they've done it enough.
Yeah.
Right. But until then, you got to get through that process, right?
Yeah, exactly. You got to have more chances at bat, and at first those chances at bat might be a little nerve-wracking, and then when you've been at bat hundreds of times, your reaction to it is different. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So regarding wellness, I just really do believe that your ability to regulate yourself is directly tied to your ability to close deals. I really, really, really believe that on all levels, because there's a lot going on. There's a lot of behaviors with other people in the transaction that may tick you off. It might be the other agent on the other end. But if you can regulate yourself, because that's really all we control, right? It's just ourselves.
Right.
That's all we can control. So
absolutely,
that is that on self-care being a business strategy. My next favorite part is using humor and the importance of incorporating humor into your world. And I wanted to share some benefits of laughter. So laughter reduces stress. In fact, I read that a hearty laugh can relieve physical tension and leave muscles relaxed for up to 45 minutes. Wow. Laughter will also improve your heart health. It will also give you a boost in your immune system, because it produces antibody cells and enhances the effectiveness of T cells. And that stuff helps fight off illnesses. So it really can help your immune system. Pain relief, laughter triggers the release of endorphins, and that's your body's natural feel-good chemicals. And when you have those feel-good chemicals flowing throughout, it can actually relieve pain and increase pain tolerance. I don't know about that second part. I mean, increasing pain. Well, yeah, then it doesn't hurt as bad. So I don't want anyone to think that this is a substitute for working out or going to the gym, though I wanted to share that laughing for 10 to 15 minutes a day, it can burn approximately 10 to 40 calories. Boom.
Nice bonus. So if you listen to some funny stuff while you're working out, you get bonus.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And then laughing gives you an internal workout. So it actually works your diaphragm, your shoulders, your abdominal muscles, providing a mild internal workout for the organs. So these are some of the benefits of laughing. And my thought is that laughter is a practice. And I don't mean you need to practice laughing, though, like yoga, like it's a practice. The more you practice it, the easier you can access the relaxation, the benefits, coming to being present. Same with laughter, like it's a practice. So how can you incorporate more laughter into your world throughout the week? How often can you laugh?
I love it.
I know there might be a lack of laughing at your dad jokes, but because they're so horrific,
I find them pretty amusing myself, but that's just me.
Okay. So humor and going to comedy clubs, going and seeing stand-up and watching something funny, it's good for you. I really encourage you guys to do it. So now we're going to talk about how we can blend business advice while incorporating like the human reality of it all. So instead of following up more, instead of like just saying, oh, I got to follow up more, listen, follow up is hard if you're fried mentally. So the question is, how are you managing your energy and not just your database? So it's about managing your energy. So I was going to ask you, I didn't prep you, though I know you can come up with answers. How are what are some things that agents can do to manage their energy?
Well, okay, great. That was part of my message this morning too. First thing is, you got to go to bed earlier. You got to go to bed early. It's just the way it is. Well, that's boring. No, it isn't. It's absolutely wonderful for your day, your life, your health. You got to get at least 7, 8 better hours sleep. And if that means you have to go to bed earlier, go to bed earlier. That's number one. Number two, get up early and do some form of physical exercise. It just, like you were just talking about, and releasing endorphins. And, when you work out, it releases chemicals into your body that other people take drugs to do, like Prozac and, Ritalin, and, you become more positive and you become more focused, and because you're releasing these chemicals into your system naturally, right? And then obviously eat right. It's because, the most energy consuming thing your body does is digest food. And if it's the wrong food, it takes even more energy. So those are just my 3 tips right there. And people go, well, that sounds boring. When you do that for 60 to 90 days and you see how you feel, now you become addicted to something new and wonderful for yourself. I mean, everybody's addicted to something. So be addicted to the good stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And having energy is fun, and you can accomplish more, and it feels better,
Yeah.
I think I called you Friday at 4. I was like, I'm tired. That didn't feel good. I mean, it was a long week, but it feels better to have energy.
Word, but no big deal.
I was talking to you. Okay. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Okay. So instead of saying, oh, I got to get more listings, consider that listings require confidence. And confidence is hard to access when you're burnt out. So another question for you, Rick. What are some things that an agent can do to have more confidence?
That's a great question. Once again, I think what we just went through for working out and sleeping more definitely affects your confidence. I know that doing resistance training absolutely affects your confidence. Also, listening to great audiobooks affects your confidence. Practicing your presentations, learning your scripts so when you prospect, you come across right. All of those things. Experience is just, how do you become experienced? By making mistakes until you become better. That's experience. It's just that simple. So you got to get through the process. Nobody is perfect at doing it, and no one is ever going to be perfect. You are where you are, and I would say take advantage of where you are right now. But the more you do something, the more confident you become, and the more second nature. One of my favorite affirmations is, I am confident, competent, and natural. And you get that by repetition. So all of the things we just mentioned, practice, role play, reading, listening to great stuff, working out, all of that stuff builds your confidence.
What if one doesn't have multiple appointments yet during the week? Because again, hands-on, that is where you get your best practice, is being on the appointment. So if someone has yet to land those appointments, those multiple appointments a week, to get that repetition, what do you think they can do?
Okay, what can they do to get the repetition down? I'm sorry, I lost the question.
That's okay. To get more confident, so going on appointments makes people better. What if someone's newer or not as skilled yet and they're not getting the appointments? How can they still get better?
Okay, that's a great question. This is my prescription for this all the time. First off, prospect all morning, fill your own pipeline. Secondly, if you're not on an appointment, like early afternoon, go visit FSBOs. Go sit FSBO previews. Be in houses with people that are moving and talk to them. You become more comfortable by doing that. And then I would say have a decent amount of active open houses, because you got to get out there and talk to the neighbors and say, if you don't have your own, talk to people in your office. We have plenty of listings for every agent to do open houses.
Perfect. Love it. Love it. Love it. Anybody can do any of that. So I was going to, it is action. It is action. So my point number next was things we've already said. It's called a wellness framework. So I'm not going to go too into it because we've already talked about it. My thoughts, my opinion on 3 non-negotiables to help your wellness, moving your body daily. Number 1, I really love number 2, controlling your morning input. I really like considering what, even if you have a TV on the background, that is input. So what is it giving you? What are you hearing? What are you reading? What text messages are you studying? What, really controlling your morning input. And then number 3, creating a shutdown ritual, because this job will not end if you don't shut it down. So, Rick, you've already talked about bedtime and hours of sleep. A shutdown ritual. I think they say, no screens for 30 minutes before bedtime. If you can have some sort of a shutdown ritual, you will benefit. That's my little wellness framework. And then I wanted to just share a statement about why we're talking about all this. I really believe that the agents who will win in this market, they aren't just the most skilled. They're the most regulated, the most consistent, and honestly, the ones who can laugh a little along the way. That's I've been with, in this industry for 26 years. It isn't just about skill. There's other things that matter and that can have an effect. So that is my closing message before you share with them a dad joke.
Well, I'm traveling soon, right? So last time I flew, I tried to sue the airport for misplacing my luggage, but I lost my case. You'll get that later. I lost my case, meaning the
I know you're with me, but
it's not a good joke.
That's horrible. I emailed you 2 really bad ones as well earlier today. I don't know if you can check.
Yes, I have them right here. They're both
okay,
terrific.
pick one.
You say it.
Okay. What did the zebra say the first time he saw a piano?
I can't imagine.
Dad?
See, I would have gone with mom. Mommy?
Hey, thanks for having me.
The point. Hey, no problem. I appreciate you. We're right at time here. And yes, perfect timing. It was awesome. These were great points. And here's the thing about laughter too, is that when you're prospecting and doing your job and you have pendings and you have appointments, it's easy to laugh. If you're not doing your job and wondering where your next business is going to come from, how can you possibly laugh? So you have to create the environment to have a balanced life. You have to create the environment to be able to laugh, right? And yes, of course there's an initiation period, but it doesn't matter if you're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, or a realtor. You have an initiation phase. You have to get through the uncomfortable until it becomes comfortable, and that's just the way it is. So thank you, Amanda. You're the best.
You're welcome.
Everybody else, keep it rocking. We'll do this again in a couple of weeks. Woo! Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.
You too. Thanks. Bye-bye now.
Bye.